Oh, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the YouTube. I don't even know if I can really call it road to stage anymore because we are at the stage. But I'm out on a walk. The time is 5:45 in the morning. As you can probably tell by my skin, I am tanned again because I competed yesterday at the Wnbf UK Supernaturals. And this video is basically going to be me doing a post-show recap of how I feel about the show, how it went, and my thoughts and feelings. But the reason I'm up at this time is my body just woke me up at about 5 a.m. Even though I didn't get to sleep until midnight. Body woke me up at about 5 a.m. and I just thought I'll get up and at them, and then I can always have a midday nap later, so it's not the end of the world. And I quite like getting out this early, especially on a Sunday, because it's so quiet. Like, I doubt I'll see anyone else on this walk, but I thought I'd get a little walk in, get some movement going, and I can film this video, which will be kind of like, I'd like to hope people enjoy this style of video because it'll be very honest, very raw of my thoughts and feelings of the show. So yeah, like I said, Wnbf Supernaturals yesterday, which for those of you that don't know, the Wnbf Supernaturals is pretty much the biggest natural show that you can do in the UK. In terms of like it's very prestigious and the standard is very, very high. Always has been at the Wnbf, especially in the UK. The UK standard at the Wnbf is absolutely insane. So it's essentially a UK championships where you get all the best guys from the UK competing. Obviously there is the Wnbf show this year, which is going to be huge as well, but that's going to be more of like an international competition. So I like to think of the Wnbf as like the UK championships in terms of like the one that it's the big one really. But yeah, that was yesterday, and that was my second ever show, and it was fucking wicked fun. So I'm going to touch on my placing, what I feel about my placing, and other things like the overall, which I'll get into first. Well, not first, but I'll get into later. So firstly, I competed in junior bodybuilding. Obviously I did first timers for the PCA, into the junior bodybuilding for the natty shows, and I will be in the junior bodybuilding for the rest of the shows this year. So 23 and under, and I placed second. So I am happy with it, because placing second at the Wnbf in your second ever show is good, and I am proud of myself, and I am very happy with the look that I brought. Much better than PCA Wales, which was to be expected because we did actually do a peak for it. So I'm very happy with my placing, and the guy who won my class actually won. Well, I found this out literally this morning when I was watching the Wnbf UK Reels. He actually won that class last year, so he's competed before and he won that same class last year. So bit annoying that he's won twice in a row, and I couldn't knock him off that mantle. But it also tells me that I lost to one, someone who's proven to be very good, and two, someone who's competed before. So for my second ever comp to come second to a very good winner, I will absolutely take that all day. Credit to him. He was a big old boy. I think his name was Nick, I believe. Sorry if your name isn't Nick, but he was about 6'5", tall bloke, and he was big, a big boy. Like, I remember seeing him in the warm-up room when we were pumping up, and I said to Finn, I was like, whoa, he's a big boy, isn't he? Like, fucking hell, like, he was the one that I saw, and I was like, oh yeah, that's comp. That is for sure comp. So shout out to him for winning back-to-back years. Deserved. He was very good. But in terms of the actual decision, I'll just be like honest and transparent. Like, the whole reason I made this YouTube is to document with authenticity and honesty. So there was 1 point decision between me and him. So when they were calling out like the winner, they said there was a 1 point decision, which essentially means that like once they totaled up all the scores on all the different criteria, it was essentially a split decision. So he beat me by 1 point. I personally believe I should have won. Obviously I am biased, and I don't want to be that person that like loses and then goes, oh, I should have won, because he's a very good winner, and like I don't feel like he didn't deserve to win. Of course he did. He's an unbelievable junior bodybuilder. But I'm going to run through my thoughts on why I think I could have won, or that it could have gone either way. So reasons why I think he beat me are: he has a very overwhelming structure just due to his height, and he's got a lot of muscle on his frame. A lot of the times when you see people that tall, they don't have the muscle as naturals, but he was very well muscled and very tall. So I think initial like first impressions when we come out on stage, especially in that front relax and front double bicep, he absolutely like dwarfed me just from his shape and size, just like his size and structure. So I think first impressions when he come out on stage and we hit that front relaxed, the judges are just looking at him like, wow, like that is a big old boy. And I think he kind of caught the judges' eyes initially. However, how they basically like placed us when they were doing the round of posing, and they worked us fucking hard. We were posing for a long time, did a lot of comparisons. He basically held the middle for like 70% of it, and then they moved me to the middle for the last like 2 comparisons. So at that point I'm thinking, oh fucking come on then, like they're giving, well, not that they're giving it to me, but they think I'm definitely like, well, I like, a lot of people were saying to me I got better as the comparisons went on, and he got worse. Like he started to like deteriorate, and I just got harder and sharper. So I think like in the second half of the round they probably had me winning, but I spoke to the head judge just for some feedback. I just like, it's always good to get feedback off the judges just so you know what to improve on. But I asked for some feedback, and they basically said like the judges they like to go with their gut and their initial like decision, because like then it just becomes very political and you need to chop and change things all the time. And like they say, like the best thing to do is just like stick with the initial gut, which to me but yeah, again, like I said, I can't fault the decision. I'm not mad because like I lost to a very, very good bodybuilder. But yeah, they moved me into the middle at the end. I think I beat him. I'd like to think that I had him in most poses. I think I was more conditioned. I think I posed better and I got better than him as the rounds went on. He definitely beat me in the front relaxed and the front double bicep. I haven't really seen too many photos of us next to each other from the back. Obviously the back is my weaker shot. My back shots are my weaker shots, but I think I had more condition than him. Beat him from the side, beat him in the most muscular and abs and thighs and stuff. But again, it doesn't matter what I think. All that matters is what the judges think, and the judges gave him the win. So I don't want this video to sound like I'm being salty, because I'm definitely not salty. I'm a very competitive person, so obviously I'm upset that I didn't win, but I'm not I don't want this to come across as that like I'm salty at him, because he's a very, very good champion, very good winner, and credit to him. And if at the end of the day the judges decided that he was the winner, then he was better than me, and I've just got to swallow that. But it's fuel for the fire. So I've come second in my first 2 shows, so I'm tired of that silver trophy. I want to bring back a gold one for the boys. But that's my thoughts and feelings. So like I spoke to the head judge as well. Obviously I just mentioned that, and he didn't actually judge my class. He was like doing the call out, so he wasn't actually judging, but he said he had me winning again. But it doesn't matter, because he wasn't judging that fight, not the fight, he wasn't judging that class. All that matters was that the 9 judges that were judging it thought he was better, and you could definitely say that he was better than me. So yeah, I'm going to stop rambling on, because I really don't want people to think that this is me being salty, and I really hope it doesn't come across that way. But like I said, I want to keep it authentic, I want to keep it honest, and I'm a competitive person, so I'm going to touch on the facts that, like, where I thought I was better than him. I've told you on where he was better than me, and that's just the honesty of it. And that's just bodybuilding as well. Like, it is a semi-subjective sport. So on another day with a different judge panel, I might have been given the win, maybe not. It's a 1-point decision. Like, whenever there's a 1-point decision, it could always like be close, and it could always go either way, and there's always going to be an argument for, oh, he should have won, or he should have won, blah blah blah. So there you are. That's my thoughts and feelings on that. But still happy with the results, very happy with the package. Obviously we actually peaked going into this show, so I actually got some food leading up into it, which led to a much fuller physique, which was cool to see. Really happy with some of the photos I've received from people in the stands. Obviously will be cool to see the professional shots when they come through. But yeah, first and second both got invited to the overall, which was really cool. So I knew I got a chance of going up against him again in the overall and against all the other winners, which I knew was going to be fun. So yeah, fast forward to the end of the class. Obviously the class finished and I felt absolutely smoked. So it was a case of sea fin, eat some food, get a little bit of hydration on, and then I actually had like a little bit of a power nap. So it was a case of I had 30 minutes really. Well, I didn't really nap, but I just laid down in the dark with my eyes closed. And you know them ones when you're not actually asleep, but you're like kind of, you know, you're resting. Like, you're not fast asleep, but you're like pretty close to being asleep. So you can kind of tell you're still resting and recovering from that. But I really needed that because they've worked us really fucking hard in the comparisons, because it was close. So they did a lot of comparisons. So I think I was up on stage for like probably 10-15 minutes. Whereas when I did the PCA, literally I went on, did 1 round of comparisons, went off. So a lot harder work. But overall was about 3 hours later. So had a little nap, had like a little bit of a feed up with like 50 grams of carbs. And then about an hour later, like 30 minutes pre-stage, had some honey, some dates and some salt and some pump powder, like a pump product. And then it was time for the overall, where the overall was just so cool. Like, it was obviously, I was in the overall with the guy that beat me, alongside Drew, who came second in his teen class. So it was really cool to be on stage with Drew, because we'll probably, well, unless we both win our classes next week at the UK DFBA, we'll probably never be on stage together. So that was our chance to be on stage together, which was awesome. So it was me on stage, Drew on stage, and Brandon G, who won his class. Brandon's fucking awesome. Like, he is so good. So he was in the junior short, I was in the junior tall. But Brandon's a fucking animal. Just such a complete physique. Like, there's no gaps. Like, especially from the front. Like, his most muscular is insane, absolutely granite, and so is his front lat. Like, those two shots are like just so good. So he was in the overall as well. So obviously Brandon won his class. And me and Drew came second. So we're all coached by Finn. So leading into this overall, where first and second of every class kind of goes up against each other, obviously Finn was more so paying attention to Brandon because, if you think about it, someone who's won the class is more likely to win the overall. So Finn was obviously giving a lot of attention to Brandon because there was a high chance that he would win the overall, and there was words on the street about whoever wins the overall would win their Wnbf pro card, which is illustrious is the word I've been using for it. It's a big deal. Like, winning your pro card in the Wnbf, especially in the UK, is it's pretty much the best pro card you can win in the UK, I'd say, just because in the UK they don't give out Wnbf pro cards very often, and the standard at Wnbf shows is just super high. So yeah, we're leading into the overall now. And yeah, I spoke to a couple of judges, a couple of people in the crowds and stuff, and the head judge said to me, he's like, look, go into the overall and kill it, and you could easily, I don't want to say easily, but he was you could turn it around between the guy that beat you in your class, because it was a 1-point decision, and the verdict was that I was kind of getting better as the rounds went on. So he was basically there's nothing to say that if you come out killing it, that you can't beat him in the overall. As in, beat the guy that beat me, not Brandon. And I was like, all right, sweet, say no more. I'll do what I can. So, overall comes, do a little pump up backstage, and we all go out on the stage for the overall. So I think there was 8 of us in the overall, because there was 4. Yeah, there was a teen short class and a teen tall class, and then a bodybuilding short class and a bodybuilding tall class. So there was 2 people from each of those classes in the overall. So there's 8 of us on stage. And I when we walked out and got set up, I was right on the edge, just because that's how we walked out. And obviously, when in bodybuilding, for those of you that don't know, when you're in the running to win, you get moved to the middle. So I was like, oh fuck, they put me right on the outskirts. I was like, shit, I'm not gonna get a look in here. And I thought, because it's an overall, they'll probably just focus on the guys on the middle. But we started our first round of comparisons, then moving straight into the middle next to Brandon G, and the guy that beat me in the overall. So I was like, whoa, here we are now. We're in the mixer. Now. It's time to have fun. And they worked us hard in the overall as well. I was fucking battered by the end of it, but they set us through a couple of rounds. So how it was, I was on the outside of the middle, and then Brandon and the guy that beat me were in the middle. Did a couple comparison rounds, and they actually swapped me with the tall guy. I think his name is Nick, and they moved me into the middle next to Brandon. So I was like, that's kind of all I needed to hear and to know. Is that they thought I was closer to Brandon than the guy that beat me in the class, because obviously that guy's just beaten me, and my whole thing is I want to be better than him in the overall. So when they kind of swapped me, I was like, fuck yeah. You know what? Fuck yeah. Do you know what I mean? Fucking too right. So I was happy with that. And then I think, again, obviously, it's hard to know because they don't call out first, second, third in the overall. They just call out the winner. But Finn said he thinks it was between, I don't want to say it was between, but Finn said that he thinks I came second in the overall to new Wnbf pro Brandon the GG. Shout out Brandon. So Brandon won the overall, and it was a unanimous decision as well, which is so sick. Like, every judge had Brandon winning that overall, which is class and thoroughly deserved. He is he's so good, and he's just such a nice guy. Like, I was so happy for him because he's quite Brandon's quite like kept to himself, quite reserved, and like he just minds his own business. So I was just like, it couldn't have been given to a better bloke. But yeah, I think I don't think it was ever close between me and Brandon in the overall. I think, I don't know, arguably I could have him on the side shots, but one of my strongest shots is my most muscular, and that is like his best shot. So like he kind of trumps me on that, and then he beats me from the back, and he beats me in like the front lat, beats me in the front double. I'd say, again, this is just my opinion, I reckon I've got Brandon on side chest, side try, and maybe abs and thigh, but he beats me on back double, back lat, most muscular, front lat, front dub. What else is there? Oh yeah, quarter turns. I'm not sure. Maybe I have him on the side quarter turns. I think he beats me from the back quarter turns. Fucking hell, zoom in. But yeah, it was awesome fun in the overall, and hopefully there's going to be some really cool pictures of me, Drew, and Brandon all stood next to each other in the overall, which is sick. Like, all three of obviously Finn's clients side by side in the overall, like just fucking having fun. Yeah, me and Drew had we did some posing together in the overall as well, which was awesome. But yeah, like the main kind of takeaways I had from the overall was, one, I think I came second in the overall to a new Wnbf pro, which is really cool and good to know going forward, and kind of again lights a fire in my belly. And second, that I think I could say, again, if I want to just make myself feel better, I think I can say I beat the guy that beat me in my class. I think I can say that I beat him in the overall. So yeah, as much as I didn't get the win that I really wanted in my class, I've got a lot of positives to take away from yesterday, and I'm really happy with the look I brought, really happy with my enjoyment on the day. Fucking loved it. I loved being able to spend longer on stage and be worked harder on stage, because on the PCA, obviously it was the first timers class. It was such a massive show. Like, the first timers class is probably the one that the judges didn't care about the most, really. Like, we literally got on stage, did one round of comparisons, and then they handed us, routines, and then they handed us the trophy. Whereas yesterday we were doing rounds after rounds after rounds, and I was absolutely smoked after it. But yeah, super happy with the day, super happy with the look. Obviously not happy with the fact that I came second, but I'm just a competitive person. Like, I was going to that show trying to win, of course I was, and for it to be a 1 point decision just makes it like a tougher pill to swallow. However, the guy that won last year, and he's a very good bodybuilder, so I'm not upset in that sense. Like, I can take that chin with pride, take that loss with pride, knowing that I lost to someone very, very good. So shout out to him, and I hope he has a good rest of his season if he is doing more. Sun's coming up, beautiful. But yeah, that's my thoughts and feelings on the show itself. Then we had a 3-hour drive home, so we didn't get back till pretty late, like 10 p.m. ish. And then I showered, just put all my stuff away, set everything up, and here we are. And now we're the next morning, and I'm going for a walk and filming this video. Fucking hell, we're at 25 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up, I think, because I don't know if anyone's going to listen to 25 minutes of this waffle. But if you did, comment big one if you stayed for this long. You're a real one if you comment big one. And I'll give you an ER beanie if you comment big one. But yeah, so Wnbf all wrapped up. What I think I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to overlay some photos from the day, and just have them like playing during the video. Obviously, because I've spoken about the classes, I've spoken about like the close decision between me and first place. So I'll probably put some comparisons of me and him, something like that. But anyway, for anyone who watched the video, hope you enjoyed. And UK DFBA next weekend, 7 days out, and we do it all again, baby. But yeah, all good. Lots of love, guys. Hope you have a very nice Sunday, a very good week, and I'm so grateful for these opportunities and the fact that I can do a prep and be healthy and have my friends and family, and I can appreciate sunrise on an early morning on a Sunday. Extremely grateful. So don't forget to smile, guys. Life is much better than you think. You just got to be grateful. You just got to appreciate what you have. See you in the next one.